Before time immortal, the dark and stormy nights arose from creation's primordial nectar. Brought to this world as both muse and master to deliver mortals from misery and the mundane. Welcome, lords and ladies. It's the dark and stormy nights.
So, once again, we are back, the Dark and Stormy Nights, unprepared. And it's okay. I'm trying to be honest with you guys. We are not prepared. We have a bunch of ideas. We have tons of ideas. Don't know where to go, but it's okay.
We'll
Not
probably
all of them
just
on topic, but yeah.
We'll probably just end up arguing again like we did last time, but it's all right.
Maybe, it's okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is Loki,
This is Tyr.
And Odin.
and today was a planning episode. We are trying to plan the next few chapters at the very least. And the next one falls on my lap.
Story episode.
And, right.
Chapter 9, right?
Sounds right.
Ish. So,
Ish.
so anyways, I was saying that I got some advice that you should maybe try to write the dialogue for the chapter first.
Now, what's
And-
the reasoning for that?
Well, because you build out from it, and I do build out, right? So I start small and I build big. A lot of people, they'll write a really hefty chapter and trim it back when they add it. I do the reverse. I build a skeleton, and then I add some meat.
I don't know. I just write through.
And you may, and that's fine. There's
I
plenty
mean,
of-
there's a lot of
I
editing on
think,
the way,
I
but
think they're all valid ways to write. I write through, too. When I write the chapter part, I write beginning to end of the chapter, but it's a skeleton. And then I build on that. And then the advice I got was write the dialogue first and then build out from the dialogue.
I don't
And-
know if I know what dialogue needs to exist unless I thought the dialogue in my head, which is the kind of thing that only happens when I go to bed. when I'm sitting
That
at
is
the
the
laptop,
worst.
that's not where, I mean, it comes up as it comes up.
I ended up till 1 a.m. last night because I kept thinking of things that need to be written.
Yeah, I
Do
don't
you
get
stop
that.
and write them down?
I just get the
opened my
voices.
phone up and put it in notes, which
Yeah.
is even worse because then my phone glows in my face and throws
Mhm.
off my melatonin. So
Don't they have that blue filter thing now on these
I don't
newer
know.
phones?
I don't use it, and
Oh, I
I'm
thought it
awake for
automatically
another
does
hour
that.
after I do this shit.
I'm
Anyway,
the same. I'll wake up and type stuff into my phone.
so yeah, because if I don't, I've lost it.
Yeah. Oh,
So.
so many. Well, it sounded good to me at the time, but you know,
Yeah, and
might
this
be a
thing,
little too
and some of it
verbose.
may get
But
scrapped, and then you kind of, you're like, oh man, I stayed up that extra whatever because I wrote something that's terrible.
there has been a few
It
times
happens,
where I
but
had an
sometimes
idea
there's-
that I had to write down, but usually I go screw it.
Sometimes there's something genius mixed in there.
You know how many times that I said screw it though, and I'm up the next day, I'm like, I know there's this thought in my head, and it sounded genius at the time.
Oh,
and
yes.
you're
Right.
kicking yourself the whole fucking day because you can't remember. And it's like,
Yep.
what the shit was it? What did I think of that seemed so genius at the time? And it might have been crap. You don't know, right?
It's like drunken
Which
ideas.
is why I write everything
this is
down.
brilliant. It fixes everything.
Drunken. I don't know. It was like my weed ideas, right? What if there's a talking Dorito? That's dumb. Nobody cares about that idea.
I don't know. I'm up for a
as-
good
as-
trippy story.
Far as your dialogue thing, like, it's not a bad idea. I've actually done a lot of like my framing, my outline for the story with like, because I can't do anything normal, so I don't just like frame out events in a story. I frame out like people talk, like the dialogue talking about whatever happened, you know. So like, I mean, a lot of times, yeah, like my story will start with a piece of dialogue or something like that, and I just piece it together with this happens here with, you know, this little chunk, and,
Right.
and that's how I frame it out. It's like a timeline of dialogue instead of, you know, actual events. Because
See, I think you guys accuse me of like, you know, like I like the concept of the monomyth, but I don't like follow it that heavily. I just am aware of the concept. You know, like it's more of the thing like I'll look at my story and go, did I do any of that? It's not like I planned it ahead.
Oh,
You guys-
no.
you
I
guys talk
stick to
about
the
me with
story
structure.
circle very-
I don't do any of this.
I am very tough on the story circle.
I mean, the only
I don't
structures I have
follow the story
is
circle
like he
intentionally.
needs to get over here, do this thing, encounter this, and then somehow the MacGuffin gets moved this way. You know, that's the closest structure I have. I don't really.
well, dude, I mean,
You're
okay.
doing it by chapter.
No. The
Wow.
story circle is 8 points, right? It's 8 whole points that you refine a little bit, but that's 8 points out of how many chapters do you guys average?
30s.
I'd have to complete a work.
Right, 30s. I say 30 to 50. right? 50's high end, I know, but
It does seem like a lot of novels I've read are somewhere in like 33, something like that.
right, yeah. 30. Well, I think my average is in the 40s, but still, 30 to 50. I think 50 is like if you're really putting out like War and Peace or something like that.
I guess it depends.
To be
I mean,
fair, I don't know how many chapters are in War and Peace, but my point is that.
I don't know. I'm trying to pull up my existing. Well, I guess it's not really a work in
So
progress.
nonetheless,
Well, I got a question
that's
for-
8 points to hit in 30 to 50 chapters. That's not that hard.
Tier. You use a lot of the paperback sizing for your page count.
Yeah,
How does that compare to 8x11?
it's
that-
smaller. It's I don't know.
No, but I mean like page versus page count.
oh,
Like say
honestly,
10 of the
I
8x11. How
haven't-
many do you think that would be in? Because I gotta set mine up, but I use the default on Word, so I don't really
Yeah,
know.
honestly, I don't know. I normally format them from the beginning just because it looks more book-like to me, and it kind of puts me more in the
Yeah,
reading mood.
Would be smart.
But I just okay, so I just checked the book I most recently finished,
Because I'm probably doing 8
and
of
that's
the
at
large size.
32 chapters. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can take our steampunk comedy and break that down a
I
little.
mean, is it half? You think?
No, I don't think it's half. I think it's more than half of a page. It's not that much smaller.
So like 2/3. So I'm
Well,
probably
no,
writing about
not-
12-page
Versus
chapters.
an 8x11.
Yeah.
Does anybody measure it that way?
Words default.
No, he's
It's 300 words a page roughly for a novel.
See, I don't really count the words.
I don't either, but that's what they say. Roughly 300 words a page. I don't know who they is either. Don't ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to start being a little more disciplined here.
It's,
I could answer your questions better, but yeah,
it's
I guess
Tumblr.
I'm probably writing 12-page chapters if I had to guess.
I've started
I think
paying-
that's fine. That's good. That's a
Started
good
paying
number.
attention to what writers and Tumblr say now that there's no porn.
But honestly, I'll probably end up beefing that up because I do feel that there are parts where I could stand to be more descriptive.
Yeah, I mean, not you. I'm not saying you generally.
Right.
I'm saying I think everybody. Right.
It's the
Really?
problem of
You
spacing.
think everybody could benefit from being more descriptive?
Many. I mean, I don't know. Look, I read Game of Thrones. I was disappointed.
Did you?
The first one. The first
Okay.
one. Okay. And I get it. Okay, I get why people love it. Okay, it is like any YouTube show for children, right? It's built to rope you in with the same tropes that people love. Well, okay, people love zombies, people love dragons, people love incest.
Does he mention all that in the
you
in the
know.
first
What? What?
It's one of the biggest searched porn.
Ew. Okay.
tags
Anyway.
there are.
Okay.
I'm not saying I love incest, but I'm saying that is
Horrifying.
what people
that is
look up.
something I
when
did
they look up
not
porn.
want to know about America.
We know.
Anyway, oh my lord.
But
Anyway.
okay, no, it is literally every single
Wow.
trope that
Okay,
people
and
search.
that's all well.
It is.
and-
It is. In
Okay,
fact,
so you're
this
saying
is
he
what we
built a
do
book of
No, no, oh
tropes.
my God! I just thought of it. This is brilliant.
Is
Is
there
there a
Have to
love
literally
triangle?
Our next book, we literally look up the top 5 searches on Google and put all of them in our next book.
Oh lord, that could end up really
I was
interesting.
going to say only one of the 5 should be sexual because otherwise that's going to be one effed up book and not a genre I write in.
I mean, well,
I can write in that genre.
I'm not saying I couldn't, but I don't.
but nonetheless, okay. I mean, it's literally all the top tropes, and I know I'm gonna get shit on for this stuff because
because everybody likes Game of
you
Thrones.
picked on Game of Thrones.
Um,
No, okay. Look, I get the allure of the show. Writing wise, wasn't great.
Like the books, you mean?
Stephen
See-
King is a far better writer.
Yeah.
And he is verbose.
I love
He
King.
is,
I don't
and that's
think
the
he needs
thing is,
more
I've
description.
actually
I
seen
just bought my boy-
plenty. I've seen plenty of authors that are very descriptive.
I just bought my boy the first of the Dark Tower series.
I
They
did
were
like the
starting.
Dark Tower, although there are a few
Look,
transitional novels that set up other novels.
Yeah.
So they're important so that you get the story going forward. But it's a lot like, oh no, you like everyone will crap on like a sequel movie. And you're like, no, you need it so you can see part 3.
Yeah.
Part 3 is awesome. I think that's bad writing. If I have to suffer through one to get to the better one, yeah.
well, if it's a continual story, I get it.
But yeah, I
if
get
it
that,
is-
but I hate setup. An entire novel or movie that's nothing but setup is bad.
Oh,
But-
I agree. There needs to be some story.
He
Well,
wanted
Their story. It's just nobody cares.
Fenrir wanted it, right? And they were literally out of it, sold out of it. So I was like,
The book it.
yeah,
Okay, I'm
Is
sorry. I wasn't
Fenrir your
understanding.
kid?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, how about these? We'll get you started on the series. I'm sure by the time we get
Tell
the
him I want
second
my hand back.
book- Don't put it in his mouth next time. But so I was like, if you finish this, I'll buy you it. We'll go find it. But
Yeah.
But I've got him
What
started.
is it?
I always loved The Stand. And, God, wasn't there one with, like, a twin? Like an absorbed twin or something?
Yes.
What the hell was that one called?
Is that
the
the Dark Half?
Yes!
Needful Things is my favorite, but the Dark Half is
Needful
up there.
Things was good. Except
I love
for
the
dog.
Dark Half.
I never finished it.
The Dark Half?
Yeah, I
Oh,
started
it's good.
reading
don't
it, but I don't
You know
know.
what it was? He caught me with that little stupid "the sparrows are flying again," and I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, this just sets up a dumb mystery. Like, why is this like getting in my head? But then I needed to know why the sparrows were flying, and so I ended up reading the whole fucking book, and I was like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Needful Things is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
We're a
I
little
was-
off topic here.
Yeah, it's okay. Look, we're trying to figure out what it is, right? What is it? What is the quality we need to grasp, maybe? And I don't know.
I think the building out of tropes, even though in itself is so...
Well, they tell you
It's
not
kind
to,
of like
right?
selling out,
But-
but it's kind of brilliant.
Right, then you think everything I like is built on tropes.
But as
Is
far
it,
as
though?
Isn't it?
I was gonna say, as far as George R. R.
There's a
Martin goes,
handful of
I would
tropes
not
I
fault
like.
him. I believe he's just a normal D&D nerd. He's a guy who likes
And they're
zombies,
all the tropes from D&D.
and nudity, and explosions, and Middle Ages. It's just you just
All right,
throw it all
sir.
together. That's
We've
the book
got-
you get.
We've got dragons. Okay, great. Do you have tits? We'll get on it.
I mean, why not have them? But
I mean, okay. I'm a huge dragon fan, but I've never read Game of Thrones, so
Right, now we've got tits.
I enjoyed this.
Do you-
I like
do you have
Tits fine
zombies?
too, but I again have never read
Alright,
this.
we'll
one.
get
I'm
zombies.
not.
there zombies
I'm not
in
reading the
it?
books
Yeah,
because
ice zombies.
it's towards the
Oh.
end.
That's funny.
It gets a little cliche of fire and ice.
Dragons and
but-
titties and zombies. Oh my!
Yeah,
But no,
I was game till you got to the last one.
yeah, I'm gonna wait
No
till
zombies?
he actually
No.
publishes the last two books, and then I'll read them.
I mean, Zombieland. I love that movie.
I can't wait for part 2. They keep teasing.
Yeah.
No, I need it.
I know.
Yeah,
It's good
that's
shit.
like Bill and Ted Part 3. It's like, yeah, maybe someday. I'm not
It's
gonna
supposed
hang
to be
my
this year.
hopes on
It's
it.
supposed to be this year. I
Maybe.
don't know.
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
And every time they announce these movies, someone pulls out. They lose a producer. Or
Well, the
something.
one girl's not even little anymore, right? I mean, the little sister isn't such a little sister anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about.
Well, I can't
Zombieland.
remember her name, but she was the girl in Kick-Ass too, wasn't she?
Is that the same one?
This is more than I knew about.
Hit Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Now she's like a full-fledged adult.
Okay.
So
That happens.
yeah, but
People
that's what I'm
grow
saying.
up.
You wait too long. I don't know. Maybe that's the intention. Maybe it is like, well, now they're all grown up and they're fighting zombies as a team. I don't know.
They should bring back the Grim Reaper dude, though. I loved him.
That was so
God, what was
campy.
that guy's name?
Oh
Can
my
we
God, it was
just
so funny.
Ignore the second movie was ever made. I mean, there's funny parts
Shut
to
your
it.
mouth!
but it's
I
a
loved
stupid
the
movie.
Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
It's not
I don't
time
know.
travel. It's
I had
heaven
to-
and hell and robots and it's ridiculous.
I had to beat him in Twister.
Like I know the movies are intended to be ridiculous, but that was ridiculous.
mean, come
even
on.
beyond.
It was yes. It
Well,
was
that's
supposed
another
to be
one though, right? They
ridiculous.
said they were gonna make another one and they didn't.
No,
So-
they are supposedly.
Yeah, I don't.
You know,
see it.
anywhere between now and
A what?
5 years.
the new
Bill and Ted 3.
Bill and Ted.
Oh.
I mean, Rufus is dead.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Are they gonna get a hologram?
Alas, Porch Carlin.
Shit. Yeah, you can't replace him.
Yeah. And what are you gonna do? Get like Seth? What's his name? Seth Rogen. Play him.
What? Why?
I mean, that could be amusing.
'Cause he's kind of.
You know what? After the casting that people have replaced like iconic characters with, I can't.
Well, not replace him. It'd be like his son or nephew or something.
No, I'm talking about like the recasting of like the Batman the past few times.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God, Robert Pattinson. They locked it
No,
down.
no.
3-movie deal.
Oh,
He has a
God, why do they
3-movie
keep
deal.
picking douches?
Yep. It's going to be the Batman for the first one,
God.
and that's all we know.
Why? Idris Elba, guys. Idris Elba.
Oh my God, that would be a good pick.
For the new Batman. Idris Elba.
I mean, he's
right?
got the gravitas for it.
And Willem Dafoe for Joker.
Oh, I could see
The
that.
problem with that is Willem Dafoe's getting older, though he is perfect. And he's kind of already done in the Spider-Man movie, so it's like, you know.
All right, so
But he
I
is
did
a
think
good
of another
pick.
Joker though, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Who knows?
But
Who knows who the next Heath Ledger
Idris
is?
Elba
Who
is
knows?
a perfect Batman. I think it would have been
I
the best
agree.
Batman
He would
we've
be
had.
a good Batman.
So,
The best what?
I think he'd be the best Batman we've had.
Well, it was almost Bond.
I don't think I can agree with
The
you.
thing
there.
is, though,
What you want, Keaton?
Yes, I want Keaton.
I don't know. He's
I was
perfect as a
so-
Vulture.
So he was amazing as the Vulture.
yeah.
And I was so ticked off that he was doing the Vulture, and then we had Affleck Batman complaining that he was too old for this shit, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, you know who's not too old? Freaking Michael Keaton. Put him in that role.
I like Michael Keaton, but honestly,
How is Affleck too old for it? I
Well,
mean, he got
that's like-
buff for that.
it was the script.
The script
no,
for
I think it was
Justice
arguments.
League.
I think there
It
was
was
just too many arguments.
Old
and
man
over
Batman.
No. It was
artistic direction and all that.
the
Well-
script for Justice League was where he's complaining the whole time
Oh,
he's
it's
too
crap.
old, and he had to pull in the rest of the
It
team to
was
do
a-
his job for him.
It was a bad interpretation of the Justice League story where Batman is trying to put together the Justice League
Right.
to take over because he thinks that the world needs him. So he needs the Justice League to actually do the
Well, it's
job.
the Iron Man thing. I'm not going to be around forever.
Right. So I'm like,
No, I'm fine with it.
dude, you're the least powerful member of the Justice League. Stop.
Right, you got a
Yeah,
tool
but he's
belt.
the only one who ever
But-
plans ahead.
Iron Man.
That
He's the only
said-
one with a plan.
Iron
That
Man
said-
is the most powerful
Yeah.
member of
Well,
Avengers.
He's a powerful member. The thing is, I love Batman. I've always liked the Batman stories. The problem is that with Ben Affleck playing that role, nobody was sympathetic.
No,
You
no.
know?
I had no
it's like so retired.
Everyone gave Affleck crap, and the fact is, not only did I feel like he talked, looked, acted like the Batman, the problem is he had 5 minutes on screen in any movie.
Yeah,
he
thank
never
God.
actually was the Batman, so I have no idea if he was
I'll
good
be-
or bad.
look,
I
I'll
have
be
no
honest.
idea.
I liked Cyborg. I
did like Cyborg.
Flash.
Flash,
Although
Ezra Miller,
yeah,
I
I
the
heart
like-
CGI
him.
was a little weak and all that.
I don't
What?
like.
The CGI was a little weak.
I don't like Wonder Woman. I loved Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah, she was good.
I love her.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Although honestly,
She was perfect.
No,
The only
she's not
great
Amazonian enough.
casting.
you needed someone a little
no.
bit bigger. A little
I
more
had-
square
you know what, and
shoulder.
I had
a-
they
she
went-
was-
they went
wasn't
for
she
the
as
most
big as
attractive girl they
Superman?
can get to do the
no,
role.
she's a little bit smaller. Like she's fairly tall, but she's thin.
I mean,
she's very skinny.
imposing.
I mean, in
And you
real
know what,
life, she
though?
isn't that big.
In like originally, I was kind of like, had they cast her as Wonder
That's
Woman?
kinda
Like
what-
she doesn't have
yeah.
the right frame for it,
That's
you know.
She
exact-
whooped
yeah.
But-
Ares' ass.
But yeah, she was really
no,
great.
she acted well.
She did very well.
I loved her in the role.
I-
It was great.
I just
yeah,
feel
I let-
physically they should have went with
with-
someone a little more imposing.
Within like early on in seeing Wonder Woman, I was like, you know what, this is fine. Like she pulled it off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, I feel like, and I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, and I know a lot of people are shitting on it, but
Yeah.
I'm hearing that if
It was
you're,
okay.
if you're making the comparison, Wonder Woman kicks.
Oh God, yeah.
Captain
Wonder
Marvel's
Woman's
ass.
a far better movie.
So, and that's like, wow, scored 1 for DC because all this time it's been like
Oh, no,
Marvel racking up the points
Yeah.
and DC.
4 for DC.
What-
Christopher
what?
Nolan movies.
Okay,
all
they're
of
gone.
them.
They're done. They're done. They're gone.
I don't care.
It's over.
It's the only Batman that matters
no,
so far.
I loved Wonder Woman and the Flash in the DC in the Justice League movie.
I like the kid.
I adore him.
He's going places.
Yeah,
Wait,
Don't take
what?
my word for it, though.
Ezra Miller,
I'm not
Which
not a
Flash?
director, so.
The TV or the movie?
the movie.
Oh my God, who cares about
I don't know. They're both
the
entertaining.
TV show? Nobody watches the
Well,
CW.
the show's ridiculous, but the actor's fine.
It's so dumb.
I've never. Oh no, I did. I saw like the first couple episodes of that.
I'm ashamed to say that I stuck with it until I switched cable companies
yeah.
and I forgot to DVR it, so I stopped because I needed to get off that train. I really did.
Yeah, just get
No, but in the
hop
movie,
off the CW
so
today.
freaking adorable.
Oh God!
And I loved
All of
him
that
in,
just became so
Fantastic Beasts too.
He, you know
And
what?
I love him in real life.
And I like
He's-
that those
he's just
characters are
adorbs.
completely different, and he pulled both
Yes.
of them off wonderfully.
Yes, he's a good actor.
I am dying to see the Cyborg movie.
Hmm.
I hate the Flash as a character, but I want to see where they go with him. I
Well,
want
Yeah.
to
as
see
long as
what
they don't
they
do that
do with this
Speed
character.
Force crap and
The Speed Force is stupid.
Yeah.
Abandon it. You know,
yeah, and the
but
fact that everyone's faster than him.
I know.
Let's stop that.
Well, the Flash is the fastest person in the world, except for Superman and every other Dark Flash, Reverse Flash, Yellow Flash.
Well, in the
Brown
movies, he
Flash.
was faster than Superman, but somehow he could
Flash.
turn his eyeballs.
I know,
in
right?
time.
I got some brown flashes. like,
That sounds like a prescription side effect.
Now, what did this have to do with writing?
Right. We were supposed to be plotting our story.
All right. Well, to be fair, I'm the drunk one here. So unfortunately for
mean,
them,
I'm a
I'm
half a
controlling the
Baron.
recorder.
Yeah. All right. So are we actually going to get to
I'm holding
plotting
the
some
show-
chapters here?
I'm holding the show hostage. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's come back after the break, and we'll actually talk about show shit.
Maybe. Maybe.
So I apologize. No, I don't.
Hey y'all, Satan here. Are you enjoying this episode of the Dark and Stormy Nights podcast like I am? It's just titillating, isn't it? Why don't you come on and listen in with me? Enjoy.
All right, so we're back, and my buzz is wearing off a little bit, so I'm gonna keep drinking.
Back again. Tell a friend. Seriously. Please, tell a friend.
Shady's back. Tell a friend. Tell some men.
No, that the show exists.
Oh. Yes, tell everybody how amazing we are. It'll increase your karma, and you'll stand a better likelihood of getting into heaven.
And we'll keep recording.
And we'll love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Forever.
that. The keep recording part is probably big.
Yes,
on that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not narcissistic enough to keep recording if nobody's listening to
Like
us.
Tinkerbell, we only exist as long as your intention keeps flowing
Exactly. That is
So-
a perfect analogy.
in. We are the same species as Tinkerbell,
Mm-hmm.
and I killed the Lost Boys, but
I don't know. I
We
think my legs are better.
still love you. Anyways, so
All right. So maybe we should get back on topic.
yes,
We can try.
we've got some topical ointment now,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna rub it on something.
Great.
Yeah, we were just reviewing where we left off.
And they don't want me to be random anymore. So
Okay, so we left off our two chapters left off with on one hand our team was busting down the door and rescuing Wilhelm and by default Karen.
yeah,
And then on the other hand, we also had our team of bad guys breaking into the brownstone and trying to steal a pig that wasn't there. And then I guess coming to an agreement with Poppy and Philip and leaving.
that's a lot of karate.
Karate.
Wasn't that what you used to fight?
Okay.
Okay, so that's where we're leaving off. A lot of blue balls on the fighting.
Yeah.
So Odin did go through a fight scene, but it kind of ended on a
Well, the house
Rocky
trapped
truce.
them, so unfortunately,
And
it
then-
couldn't be resolved without.
tier ended after a long fight through a catacomb system
Right.
with a blue balls on a Karen deciding she's going to live with them now.
Except for that handful of spiders that got the love potion. I
Yeah,
don't think they
that's
had
true.
blue bottles.
So we could be coming back out to a spider orgy.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, if that's
Or-
really where you want to go with it.
Well, I
London could see the biggest spider bloom it's ever seen.
Could be.
Yeah.
I thought they were all supposed to be male spiders.
Groovy, baby.
They could, the male spiders can still have an orgy.
I
Hey,
mean, they can.
pride
They
is
can't
right
have
around the
eggs,
corner.
But they can have an orgy.
Yeah, no
So-
eggs, but still an orgy. Spider love
It
is
doesn't
spider
need to
love,
produce
Odin.
babies to be valid.
Exactly.
No one said otherwise.
So, okay.
No, but what I was trying to say is, while my chapter will probably get some rewrites in it, we don't have to worry too much about like bringing the action and all that. Because I don't even feel we're at mid-boss part of the story. I feel like we're about a third in, where we're really establishing what's going on and where we're going. But I don't think that we're even halfway. I don't even think we're at conflict point at this point. You know, we're not even approaching the second act.
So right now where we're at
we're
is
just kind of starting. it.
we're kind of pulling Karen into our team at this point.
Well, Karen's pulling herself in.
Right.
Let's be
With
honest.
the help of Wilhelm.
So,
I'm just saying a little bit of tease with the combat. You know, I think it's fair at
That's
this
fine.
stage.
No, my only issue with the chapter ended up being I don't know, like as far as the character of the bad guys went, you know, to negotiating a deal to get out of the house. I can see Caleb doing something sneaky Like he's much smarter than
It
anybody
was a
gives him
little
credit for.
anticlimactic.
Right, right.
Um,
But I'm like I said, they either all just duke it out when it was a Mexican
Or they just waited
standoff,
for the rest of the
or
team to come.
and then they have to fight the team.
Tangled
And then I don't know. My only true issue was Philip was kind of
Not trapper keeper enough.
not trapper keeper enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. He
I
wasn't.
mean, he took initiative even in human form. I thought he did pretty well.
He would have made paste out of people.
I guess my
He did.
thing is just that I want Philip to be worthy of Wilhelm. You know what I'm
We
saying?
do love Wilhelm. He's our boy.
We
gotta
do.
protect him from
Well, so far,
subpar
all they
wares.
got is an early friendship that is got a little more connection than might be deserved for such little time.
Man,
But that's
you
it.
don't live forever, man. These guys gotta fuck on the first date.
What? Okay. Regardless, they've already had their first date.
I'm
Karen
just
was
saying,
there.
because you guys are reading
Anyway.
a lot into.
That's not a date. She butt
No.
in.
I don't care that Philip is not trying to. No. As a person, Philip is showing his personality here,
Yeah. And
I
fought
want
off a
him to
gunman
be.
in
I
human
want him
form.
to be worthy of Wilhelm.
So
is all I'm
we
saying.
want to show how protective he is, maybe.
Yeah, like I
A
feel
little
like
bit
he
of
would be.
chivalry in there.
Well, he went marching off looking for him. So I mean, I'm not sure what was missing that you need.
I know, like he's just kind of got to step to the action a little more. I don't think anybody.
I don't know that it was the action. I don't know. He seemed more scared than I would have pictured him as, you know?
Well, to be fair though, I will give Odin this, that he seemed more scared to allow Poppy to take damage.
Yeah, he stood in front of Poppy, if
than
you recall.
anything else.
I really don't know
but,
what you guys are.
I think more indecisive is what he felt like. He felt indecisive,
Maybe.
and yeah, I think that at least a few more people would end up torn in half. My thoughts. That's it. It's my.
I think he murdered 4 people in werewolf form.
It's just not enough.
Werebear.
Or yeah, werebear. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're questioning though where to go from here, right? I mean, it is.
Well, we either come back with the team coming back finding 5 dead bodies and 1 stuck to the wall, or we go back to the villains. And I think there's a lot of comedy to be had with the villains.
All right.
Because I feel that Jennifer is probably naked with a whole bunch of clothes in her arm,
Why
getting back
wouldn't she just get dressed in the car?
as she gets into the
As
carriage.
soon as she gets
and
out of
being-
the house, she could get dressed.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but she's gonna run off the. I
And
mean,
no-
Why?
she-
They called a truce.
And not
There's-
Karen. You're talking about Jennifer. And and on
the
top
good
of
guy
that,
team has more to lose than the bad guy team at this point
And it-
because
yeah,
the
and I
house
think
is
it's-
open. They have everything they wanted out of the situation.
well, either way.
And outside the house, she has all of her black magic back.
And I really feel like Jennifer is click of a finger and she's dressed again. Like
Maybe that could be an ability,
I think she's tougher than people think.
but she's gonna get totally chewed out by Blackwell as soon as she steps in
Yeah,
the carriage.
but this is where she's gonna stand her ground, right? I mean, I really think that she like.
Is it gonna be right in the carriage, or is she
Blackwell's
gonna wait
spout
till they
off
get
and
back?
She's gonna be like, "Look, you motherfucker," you know, like.
I don't know. I feel like Caleb would probably smooth it over right away with just the pig
That's not
ain't
bad.
there.
That's not bad.
The
Like,
pig
Well, no,
ain't
I
there.
think she might throw Caleb under, and then Caleb might
No.
deflect.
no, I don't think so.
She's a survivor.
No,
just like
she
Yeah,
she
but
doesn't-
so is Caleb.
She doesn't see.
And he
Caleb as an
knows that
equal.
Jennifer is not the person to cross.
She doesn't see Caleb as an equal. Caleb doesn't see her as an equal.
Right, so why wouldn't they throw each other?
Blackwell sees her as a inferior. She sees Blackwell as an inferior. That's where the conflict is.
Okay.
Right.
I think she's willing to bite her tongue up into the point to where he starts to try to blame
To the point where
entire
she can
failed
sneak a
mission on
giant
her.
book out of the
Well, she is
wherever.
She is the senior in position, and they did fail.
That's bullshit.
But
Fucking Bob.
Desmond sees
number
her as
9
his
is dead.
assistant.
Yeah.
What's
you
that?
know, he sees her as his assistant.
Sorry.
Bob-
Right, but on scene,
Bob
she
was the next person in charge. Where the frick is Bob?
At this point,
Taste.
does Blackwell really think Bob's matter?
He's his right hand. Anyway,
I kind of feel like that's just something you tell the intern that you're sending in to fight the orc.
regardless, they
You know?
can't come out of a house with a pig if there's no pig in the house.
That might be a lost reference.
So we have to figure out what are our villains going to do from here. Are we bringing in another demon? Are they coming up with a new plan? What's happening with
All right.
our villain team?
Okay, so if this is where we're going with it,
Or, I mean, we
I
need to figure out
think
both sides. What our
Blackwell-
good guy team is going to do from here.
I think Blackwell would go for broke, but I don't necessarily think he would reveal the whole plan to everybody. I think this is where Blackwell realizes he needs to compartmentalize. You know?
Maybe
And-
this would bring up Blackwell thinking about how he defeated what haunted him last time as a child.
What dreams?
Are we talking like a boogeyman? I'm not sure I remember this.
Where we created Desmond Blackwell's backstory. The whole reason that he became so obsessed with getting rid of anything non-human was because when he was a teen, he was haunted by a nightmare demon or something.
Yeah, like a boogeyman.
And he ended up having to find some way to overcome it because nobody believed him and this thing tormented him night after night. So maybe he goes back to how he defeated that. I don't know.
Well, I assume some sort of, ritual,
Okay, so he would turn to magic again.
Yeah. Instead of summoning creatures he can't rely on, things he can't trust that are just looking to double cross him, especially considering they're monsters and he doesn't like them to begin with. Why wouldn't he dive back and more into direct control?
Well, how's he going to steal the pig using magic?
Indirectly, by manipulating the people that own the pig.
No.
So he's going to curse the team?
Well, I'm talking about like some sort
That's
of
low shit. It's
some
crap.
some sort of like mind control, programming or something.
No. I think he's done with mousetraps. I think that Desmond's going to go for broke. I think this is a full-on attack. I think this is broad daylight, tanks down the streets, fireballs down Main Street. I think.
Well, right now they're licking the
he
wound,
is
so you have to
just
prep for
fucking
whatever you're
fed up
talking
with
about.
it. Yeah, no, you're right. I think he has to prep for it. I think this is going.
So what are we talking about?
I think that it is
What's the equivalent tank?
Huh?
What's the equivalent of a tank in your scenario?
Well, it's steampunk. I don't care if it's a fucking Will Smith and a Wild West Walker. I mean.
He
Is that
finds
something
Kevin
you-
Kline? Is that what you're saying?
Is that something you see
Yes.
Blackwell having access to?
I think that Blackwell is wealthy and spoiled, and I think he can get his hands on what he needs to get his hands on.
So are we saying that he's employed an anti-Hammond?
Or he knows somebody who has an anti-Hammond, or he knows somebody who has the resources he's willing to grovel
Well, we
Here's
did
the
say
problem with
that he is a
magic.
lord. That he could. We were talking about their MI6,
Q?
Their Q, yeah. Maybe he could borrow a Q or something from the Q Labs.
I don't know that the MI6 would help him, or MI666
Well, not
as
on
the
the
case would
books, no. But for a large enough donation, anything can be arranged.
to. I mean, these guys aren't the only weird engineers out there. This is a steampunk story. This isn't, he could have gotten any number of Tesla types to create something,
I don't know. Rich independent inventors. I
The
don't
hard
think are
part
gonna
is
make this
not
stuff
having
wrong.
set this up much in advance.
My issue is that
You just
magic won't work on its own because our team is relatively protected within the house.
Right. So smash the house,
They
Well,
can't be cursed from
burn
afar.
burn it down.
That's awful.
Well, that's a question. Can it catch flame? I don't know. But here's what I was saying is you could just set up a trap, something that lures them out, something they must go out for. And maybe it's just their job.
I mean, they'll have to
he
leave
could
at
place a
some
call
point.
that he needs
Right.
help with.
But-
This
Maybe
or
that's
that.
it. Start picking them all off as they walk out of the house. Anybody who leaves the house one
No,
at a time.
But he could call them for a job. They go out.
That's true.
They go
It
off
could.
site.
Oh, that's not bad. It could be a setup.
Yeah, like do 3 jobs at once, so they have to split the party. Everyone has to get involved, so they all go out, and then it's just a matter of picking which one's got the pig. It's not a bad plan.
It's not, but you're a third of the way through the book. And how are you calling out 3 people to a job and there's no job except for one? They each show up to what? Caleb, Jennifer, and Bob?
What I'm saying is like you have 3 jobs placed
Like this
around
is,
the map,
this is
so they're
calling
in
out
totally
all
different
the
directions.
stuff and,
Well, I mean, what does Desmond have at his disposal? He has the book.
yeah.
He could
summon
actually summon something for them to defeat.
something. I'm thinking several somethings, maybe.
Yeah,
Wreak
that's what I'm
havoc on the city.
Yeah, just unleash hell.
saying.
Oh, shit.
Well, then he probably wouldn't.
possibly 4 demonic teenaged mutant
Ninja Turtles?
Well, what I was going to say is something small.
No.
But
Well, they started
problematic.
off small.
Now, follow me. Like, the Jorogumo was dangerous. It's smart. It was free-willed. Probably not something you want to release again. But maybe a horde of goblins or something. You know, a plague of pixies or whatever. Any.
What if he just
something
opened a
that could be
frickin'
cleaned up
portal
afterwards?
and whatever came through came through?
That sounds
That is
irresponsible
horrifying.
on his level.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's. Well, he could be that desperate, but would he be that stupid?
What if he opened it up in their backyard? No?
Wait, you're saying that he starts a ritual
I think he has to prep the grounds
right
that
in
he
their
does it
fucking
on.
backyard.
Yeah, I think they would see him there. You'd have to prep the grounds. I don't think he could just target someone's backyard,
Right. Hey,
especially a
guys.
protected yard.
How you doing? I'm just like.
However, he
summoning-
could be a total jerk and do it at the house next door.
We're just gonna summon this thing here. It's his name's Cthulhu. He's your friend.
Cthulhu.
He just devours worlds and consciousnesses and stuff.
Okay. All right, so we don't leave a portal open. That's slightly irresponsible
Domo.
for somebody who doesn't like other.
Well,
Sewer
yeah,
monster.
especially if he's banished a boogeyman. If he just left the door open, who knows how many boogeymen
Yeah, that
might
thing
come
could
out.
come through. Okay, so you're right. He would selectively choose the 4 horsemen to come through. And then set them on the path of the...
Yeah. Throw one at the north, one in the south, one in the west, one in the east. Divide them all up and make them go all
Set
over the
them
damn
on
That's
the path
pretty
of-
big. I mean, I'm not saying it's.
Oh, I didn't
beyond
mean the
him.
literal 4 horsemen. I just meant he'd summon a
Yeah,
group.
some.
Well, I was
like,
seeing 3
yeah,
directions, but 4, whatever. I don't care.
like
5,
some
10.
kind of super team of evil or something like that.
Right, right.
I was just saying.
Like-
several.
Oh, this is fun. The anti-team. It's like them, but they're mirror images, basically, and
Wait.
they're evil.
No, that's actually interesting.
The unteam.
No. That's not the first time you hear stuff like that in mythology. Like some sort of doppelganger that can mirror your
Right, like the
abilities.
evil version. Dude, an evil version of Meredith is scary.
Oh my
No,
God,
that's like-
Meredith is scary.
That's kind of-
Right.
Wait, would he have had access to anything they left behind? Blood, clothing, anything like that?
So he wants to create
Oh,
an
maybe
evil
they're-
group?
Okay, maybe that's where the next chapter goes then, right? Is trying to find
You know,
anything.
we could back it up to the
Slurpee
Poppy...
cups.
They broke it in
and-
the house
The
twice.
Poppy and Philip chapter, we just back it up a little bit
Right.
and have them take something. And that's why they agree to leave.
Oh,
This makes
wait,
more sense.
wait.
Jennifer would be pocketing
Hold up.
shit.
Tim.
Okay,
Who?
Tim.
on
Who
a
the
stick.
fuck is Tim?
He's the guy who was the smartest in the group and left. Why did he leave? Because he's already pilfered everything from every bedroom.
You don't think Jennifer would have come up
So
with this?
wait a minute,
Jennifer
you're saying
is
that
the
he
black
collected
magic
cubes
master.
from everybody?
Oh, right now.
Well,
loud.
I think a
at least
hairbrush
from
would do,
Jennifer. She
and
was
it doesn't have to be genetics.
Oh.
It's magic. It could be
Alright,
his sunglasses. It doesn't matter, as long as they owned it. But the point was, is if you remember, the one Bob who goes, "Screw it, I quit. You're all weird." He was saying that there was this guy named Tim who was part of the crew who just buggered off. Maybe because Tim had a different mission. While everybody else was distracted in a gunfight and doing all this other crap, and you had those 3 guys walking around.
Right. See, this would give Blackwell a big head, right? So he's like,
I don't know.
I already
Does
So
this-
planned
Blackwell
for
had a
this.
counter mission, and he half expected them to fail. That's kind of brilliant. I love it.
What?
It feels out of character for Blackwell. I can see
Be that
Jennifer.
smart?
I can see Jennifer doing it.
Maybe no. Even
Well, maybe
better.
she did. Whoever.
What if? Hear me out. What if Talbot did it, but had Caleb take credit?
That is much better.
I knew this might be a problem, boss, so I went ahead and took the liberty of getting enough
Okay. Orders from Talbot.
material.
No, we don't even need to do
But
that.
You don't disclose it.
Okay,
But
yeah,
Caleb
would
unilaterally
never.
makes that
Right.
decision to a
So
Bob.
maybe it would
I
look a
like
little
it.
out of character at this point in the story, but at the end you understand. But at this
Can we
point,
make
all
Caleb
you have to
manipulative
do,
enough?
all you have to do is have Jennifer fuming and being like, "If I had this, this, and this, we could do this," and Caleb would be like, "Oh,
Oh, you
well,
mean like
since
this?
you mentioned
He's
it,
got
yes,
a whole parcel in his
Oh,
hand?
Done.
exactly,
Right.
exactly,
Or maybe some kind of leather case. Yeah.
yeah, like."
That,
So-
no, I like that. I like that a
Oh,
lot.
shit! It would be nice if we backed up to this last chapter and had Caleb communicating with
Well,
somebody.
I was going to say,
in
there's
the
a part
rough
where Jennifer gets out of the
draft.
carriage. She looks over, and Caleb is ducking around the house, and the first Bob walks up the
No, I
door
get
with
that.
people behind him.
Yeah.
If instead we have Caleb over at the third carriage with the backup crew talking to a guy, and then
talking to a shadow, and then
no, there's this. Remember, there's a third card of the backup crew that comes in later. I'm saying if you're just having a conversation with a guy and the guy's like against the carriage and it looks real intense, you don't have to say what it is, and then you later disclose.
Right. I know we can sandwich this in.
we
We're
can
just gonna-
absolutely fit this in here. I mean, I just think that any kind of communication where Caleb is
And
off
this is how
talking
most
to
of my
somebody
writing
and you
works.
can't see what it is, and then all of a sudden he has this stuff, I think that's enough of a what do you call it? Like a foreshadowing or an Easter egg
Oh, yeah.
Right.
to
But
have people put that together as you go
All right.
on.
So this is a good start. Let's take a break right here and think about how we can sandwich this in without making it feel sandwiched in. Okay?
Cool.
Are you guys ready?
Don't make me do this.
I'm not doing it.
Loki, a god, a mischief god.
Odin, a god of war and stuff.
Please don't.
Tyr, the wise, she has a podcast.
Listen to the dark and stormy nights.
Now the song has gone on for too long.
Help, I'm trapped inside this song.
Please send help or make it end.
This is all your fault.
Okay.
No.
The sweet baby Javas are too good.
I agree.
What?
These beer I'm drinking, they're
Ah.
great. They're fantastic. They're called Sweet Baby Java. The first one I had was called Sweet Baby Jesus, but this one's got like espresso infused in it. Yes, we're recording, by the way.
And
Nice.
that's a free plug.
So I like beer. These are great.
They are good.
Beer and coffee in one. It's
Mhm.
pretty amazing.
And
So
chocolate
it's like
peanut
Buzz
butter.
beer.
Yeah. So it's good stuff.
Is that caffeine?
So I don't know, but I feel good.
Okay.
But
So
I knew that I would.
Okay. Well, I was clarifying over the break because there was a little bit of confusion in my suggestion. And I was saying that I was feeling the doppelgangers, these demonic versions that they summon, or maybe they're fae, I don't know. The reason they were getting like the hairbrush or a pair of glasses or whatever.
is to transform them into the team, yes?
Well, not just an appearance, but to actually gain their skill set, their
Right.
essence. So they're actual mirror images.
Okay.
Right down to being
So
left-handed
here's-
when the other's right.
What
Here's
if they're
how I'm s-
doppelgangers though? The further they move away,
They can predict the weather?
bigger
What?
they seem.
Oh. Anyway,
No.
so
bad radar pun.
so I'm thinking that maybe like Desmond is very frustrated at this point, and he's like, how hard is it to find something that is their equal? And this makes Jennifer think, well, if I had things of theirs, I would be able to do whatever. And Caleb's like, oh, you mean like, and then he hands over everything that Talbot instructed him to steal.
I feel like this is a great
Okay,
idea.
it would sound
I
coincidental.
feel like this is a great idea, but I feel like we could make it seem like Caleb was being creepy.
No, it's simple. It's simple.
Okay.
Like he raided their underwear
Okay,
drawers
normally-
or stole their brush. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just being creepy.
Like he hands over all of them, and she's like,
Right,
"Wait,
in
wait,
fact,
wait! I'm gonna need something for Meredith
Because
too."
of
And
what's
he's
going
like,
on.
hands over a pair of her panties.
yeah.
I would just think
Because of what's going on behind the scene, I feel like he would just suck it up and let that happen. Let them all think he's being a weirdo.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I was saying there's a simple out, and it's like, okay, he had no way of knowing they were doing this doppelganger thing. But it's common knowledge, at least in
But
the
genetics
occult
aren't a
world,
thing in these times.
that if you have an item, you can use it against them.
But he's just a droog. I mean, he doesn't
Who,
know all this
Caleb?
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, he'd be tipping
Well,
his hat that
if
he's
we
smarter
wanna
than
say
he
that-
appears, but
Well, if Talbot gave him the instruction, like the only thing that has to be happening here is that Caleb is keeping Talbot. Did we discuss Talbot enough for the podcast
He-
listeners to know who we're talking about here?
Yeah, but
He's
we didn't
not
discuss
relevant
him a
to
lot,
this
but we have
novel.
mentioned him a few times. But I feel like Caleb could blame this on Bob 3. Is this Bob 3?
well, it's the Bob that's named Tim.
Bob Tim? So he could blame it on him, saying, "Oh, well, he told me to get this." Knowing he's dead and he's not going to refute it.
Truthfully, it doesn't matter if Caleb takes things that look like something you would take. Like so he stole one of Zara's knives and he stole Wilhelm's flask.
Right.
And he took like something one
What?
of
They
Reading
were
glasses.
shiny.
one
That's a
of
good one.
Hammond's
A wrench. or
favorite inventions.
Well, you want a little DNA on it, right? I mean,
something? It just has to be something that they have any value.
Okay,
Maybe-
but Hammond would be sitting there like stroking his weapons lovingly,
maybe
you know.
his beard grooming kit. I don't know.
But I
could
mean,
see
like
that.
he would have no reason to take that. What I'm saying is there could be it could be things that he had a reason to take,
Yeah.
which is why Meredith's underwear actually makes sense because it could be a little creepy.
Hammond sandwich machine.
What?
Don't you feel like you'd have
You
one?
would so miss that.
He would probably
miss that.
have like an
Unless
automated
panini
beard
presses.
trimmer.
That's true. He might. Yeah. What?
I said a panini press.
Yeah, the first one, right? It's the Hammond.
His
Foreman,
gremlin cage?
The Hammond Foreman
Or
grill.
was it a gremlin or a goblin or what the heck was
It
it?
was a brownie.
Brownie. Thank you. His
Fuck
brownie
brownies.
cage? His little brownie tube?
Yes.
Well, the thing is, this is third-hand instructions. So you've got Talbot to Caleb to Tim. That's a lot of
No.
Degradation.
No. That's not what we're saying. We're saying Talbot told Caleb.
right.
Caleb swipes the
blames Tim.
stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe he.
I mean, Caleb was
maybe he walks.
gone long enough that that's possible.
Maybe he walks out with. It doesn't matter. We can go back and add that in, you know. But maybe he like walks out of the house with something, and Jennifer sees it, and she's like, "Why do you have that?" And then it occurs to her, well, if I had something from the rest of the team, you know, like that's enough for her to realize.
Well,
like,
the reason I was saying Tim should do it because one, he already left,
And he's on the stick.
and then there isn't the whole like he's got a bag on him, which I would think that Poppy and Philip.
No.
I just don't get the
Tim
point
is a
of
red
bringing
herring.
Tim in here.
Tim's a red herring. Caleb is blaming Tim. Caleb.
But Tim
is-
didn't actually do anything.
No, he did nothing.
Yeah.
Caleb
That
is
makes
saying,
more sense to
Tim
me.
told me to do this to hide what really is happening, which will be revealed.
I got that. I'm just saying with him leaving with a
later.
sack is a little weird.
What?
What? It can be
Why is he
small
playing with his
things.
sack?
He just has to stuff things in his pockets.
Yeah, I guess.
He can maybe carry one thing out, and then when Jennifer questions him, she'd be like, actually, that's great. If I had more of this, you know, something from each member of the team.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Maybe
guess that'll
Talbot had every intention of doing the spell himself if they didn't.
Right. Yeah. These morons are never going to figure this out. Bring me these items.
Right. But
Yeah.
then Jennifer figures
You
it
voted
out.
That's actually
boss.
more disturbing, though, because what we have discussed, and there's no point in going too far into it, but Talbot just wanted to release the books to cause chaos in order to bring about an inquisition.
Right.
Doing this demonstrates a knowledge of occult that goes beyond what a bishop should know.
He has
that
a
means
book,
he's read
no?
them. He doesn't
Yeah.
just
Wouldn't you?
he as a bishop. No, you keep them locked away.
Know your enemy, man.
Yeah, that makes him a whole different level of evil. That's a much more dangerous.
I mean,
element
he
than
is
we
our
made him.
overall evil.
Right, but we had set him up
He's
as
the
a
behind
as
the
a
scenes
patron, as an
evil.
orchestrator. Now he's a player.
He's a concierge of evil.
He's releasing these things everywhere. I think that he knows what's happening. I think he's doing it on purpose.
Well, I mean, yeah, we established
This
he
is his
but,
path to Pope.
this is
And
That-
when it all goes
that's
to
even
hell,
darker.
he
'Cause
sweeps
before It
in.
was just sort of
Yeah, but when it all goes to hell, he sweeps in, changes the world, knocks all this out, and he's the hero.
But that was my point. Is that it's by any means,
Right.
what brings about the greater good. That's his mindset. But the second he starts reading that material, he's corrupted by it. He has to know that going in.
Know your enemy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you study what
The
you're talking
second he
about.
cracks that book, he's made himself
You're telling me
unworthy.
that there have never been like Christian demonologists.
He wants to kill innocent creatures.
Well,
He's
before he
already
was-
a jerk.
That was just zealotry. This is straight up evil. That's what I'm saying. Is there's a distinction. There's a line
he
he's
is
He is
crossing.
evil.
Well, that's point of view, though.
No, he's
I-
evil.
I mean, your best villains believe they're doing good.
Oh, he does
I'm not
believe
sure,
he's doing
I'm
good.
not sure he can
So does
justify that
Desmond.
at a certain level.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's. I think that he would justify it all as trying to understand your enemy.
Yeah, I think that he's justified. He's all right already. Like Wilhelm is clearly not evil. Yes,
Yeah, I think he's pretty.
Yeah.
good
we all
guy.
agree that
You're
he
talking
is a
about
good
casualties of
person.
war from Talbot's point of view.
And yet Talbot is perfectly willing to exterminate Wilhelm and Philip and, Karen and
Well, once they know that they're
Poppy
monsters,
even.
screw them.
Or consorting with
That's
monsters.
the point. Is these
Yeah.
are perfectly innocent people, good people. And as far as Talbot's concerned, they should all be exterminated. That is evil.
Right. Even though that would totally make a hypocrite because he's basically doing the same thing.
What do you mean? His entire purpose was to bring about
Well, I get that.
another judgment.
a
But
new
by telling
Inquisition.
them exactly what they need to do magic is condoning it. It's exactly the same thing.
He's not doing it, though. They're a tool.
Right.
Oh, God.
You need to create enough chaos.
In order to
He's
bring
so
about the
deluded, he won't
reason
even
to
accept
do
the
this.
transitive property of he commanded it. Therefore,
He didn't command it. He
his
gave them the
tools-
tools to
he-
do it. He didn't
They're
order
his
it.
tool- oh.
He told Caleb, "You will need this in order to do this."
Oh, that
and
is
Caleb set
such
it up.
A shade of difference that is so slight.
Do you think it matters for somebody who's obviously like narcissistic and xenophobic and
No, I'm not.
Evil.
I'm not arguing this person wouldn't exist. I'm just saying he's
What-
even
you're-
worse than our first picture.
Wouldn't? They do exist.
Oh yeah, of course.
This is a common villain.
Yeah,
in
But
this is
before,
true.
I had envisioned
who
him
are
as
perfectly
solely
happy with the concept of
solely
exterminating a
as a
certain
zealot.
type of people.
Right.
Now it's a power hungry
Did-
madman.
People like Talbot.
Yes, exactly.
People like
Didn't
Talbot
we
are the
already
reason
say
we
that
have
he killed his own
Pride
wife
today. And
by accident?
yeah,
Talbot.
yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. And
We
Can
haven't,
bishops
but it was
have
part of his.
wives? I mean, or is that?
all
Well, we
that's-
said it
Although,
wasn't.
I mean, I know at one point popes did, but that was long ago.
Could have been before his.
I'm sure it's how they get them to stop touching little boys.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
Lord.
not addressing that.
No. All right. Sorry.
That is a
Um,
minefield.
Anyway, no, but I mean, he could have had a wife before he ever became
Was
a
it, were we not doing that
a
one
man
today?
of religion. Wrong show.
Wrong
Anyway.
podcast.
Sorry, guys. I mixed up my subject matter. Nonetheless.
All right. Anyway, so Caleb gets orders from Talbot. Between the three of them, Jennifer, Caleb, Desmond, they figure out that with the things that Caleb has stolen, they can create doppelganger.
Voltron.
Yes. I changed my mind. No more doppelgangers.
Yes.
I kind of wish I did switch with you. I like this chapter better.
You want to do Voltron?
Anyway.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I get to be the flying saucer head. Or are we doing the Lions one? It's not as
Oh, yeah, the
fun, but I
Lions.
like the 20-something cars and trucks.
Anyway.
The construction go.
That's
about
the
one.
old one. Yeah, it was the better one, I think. But the Lions are fine.
So, yeah.
But I get to be the right arm.
I don't even know where Tier was going now.
I
got
was
Voltron in my
going
head.
with, so they decide to create the doppelganger
Oh, right.
mirror image.
Do you guys ever wonder
Evil
how
version
I
of
get
the
anything
team.
written?
What?
Do you guys ever wonder how I get anything ever
Yes,
written?
yes, we do.
actually.
I'm supposed to be doing work when I do it. I write all the things I write
Isn't
at
it
work.
funny how much easier it is to write when you're supposed to be doing something else?
Isn't it great when you get paid to actually write something you want to write instead
I
of what you're
wouldn't know.
supposed to be?
Yeah.
It would not work where I'm working.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Anyway. Okay, so that's where we're at. We've got our new bad guy, and I kind of feel like these doppelgangers start showing up like one-on-one. And maybe they don't look
Well,
exactly the
I
same.
was still saying we could do the call on a job and get them out and separated.
Maybe.
Well, here's what I was
maybe, you know,
thinking.
it's not terrible, right? Maybe the Hammond doppelganger is waiting for Hammond at a job.
This
That's
is what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying.
Is they don't look exactly alike, but similar enough to where they're threatened
Well,
by them.
Here's the thing.
And then I think like Zara shows up on a job, and this other girl's already got it done. And sorry, hon, you're too late. You know?
But here's an interesting notion. Okay, you can do the Bruce Lee, punch block a punch by punching a punch. You can do that. You can send Hammond versus Hammond. But the smart thing is to put him against somebody else who doesn't have Hammond in the team. They might not know he's Hammond.
Oh, so you're
Not
saying
Hammond.
sow the seeds of dissent in the team.
I mean, the
like-
weird thing is like, aren't you supposed to be on the other job? No, I
Wouldn't
finished that
Robert
up.
know?
You're saying wouldn't Robert know
The-
that
oh,
it's
the-
not
the
re-
ghost?
our
Yeah.
Hammond or
Absolutely.
our Zara?
He would. He's
Probably.
I
So
mean,
the second one of the
I mean, aura on
doppelgangers
them would be
approached
crazy. He
Meredith.
would totally see that.
Well, that's the other problem, right? Is that we are now aware of Robert's involvement.
Yeah, but his
We
ability
have,
to communicate.
however, not discussed how Robert can communicate with the team now.
Going forward,
Yeah.
Robert can talk to Karen.
Not bad.
Okay, but Karen doesn't leave the house usually.
She wouldn't need to. Robert comes back, he talks to her, tells her what's going on, she relays it to the team.
That's
Well,
fine
you
when
know
everyone
what's
gets
funny
home.
is I
But
was
when
just-
they're out on a job, that doesn't help them.
I was just reading a thing about how some spiders can read their environment by feeling their web, right? They weave their web in such a way, and there's a single strand coming from their web.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not
like a
actually
trip
on the
wire.
web, but there's a single strand on the web, and they can sense predators that aren't even near their web, but like
The vibration, yeah.
nearby, right?
Did you just say Karen can't leave the house?
I said she typically doesn't.
Oh, typically doesn't, yes.
And
yeah,
so
she's doing that whole secretary thing in the den.
And
or
she
whatever.
hides, yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it interesting if Robert was causing vibrations to the web, and she's like reading it.
Oh,
You know,
I'm okay with
it's
it.
such a very subtle thing.
I guess.
You know, but it's
Like from
Yeah, there's a
afar?
name for
Like
it.
when
It's
he's
like-
not...
it's like
multiple
Joragumo
threads.
Braille. You know, like
Yeah, like they got the
You
strong
mean
drag
within the
line and
house
all
or
that.
when he's not home?
yeah, no, like I'm saying he's affecting vibrations on the web, so that she can translate it to.
It might
Meredith.
be. No, I think
She's
it's just
a
him
spirit. Why
speaking.
would she not be able to talk to him?
Well, she's not a spirit. She's a demon.
She's a
thing.
spirit
Well,
demon thing.
Solid.
The overlap is weird. I mean, you're talking about
She's
two different
here.
cultures and the way you interpret them. It's
I
hard to
feel
say.
like she'd be... Dale can see him. I feel like Karen would be
Yeah,
able to...
Dale's got a lot of juice in him, though.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
little
That's the
different.
thing. Yeah, he is pumped full of it. Like he's like, you know, Minotaur. Taste the
You know what?
beast. He is like jammed full
I like
of shit.
both. I like both.
I can't imagine why
Now,
Karen wouldn't be able to talk to him.
Follow me on this. Well, because she's manifest. So here's what I'm suggesting. Okay, I like the idea that when Robert talks, the web vibrates and she can kind of interpret it like a whisper in the wind. Okay, she can kind of communicate that way.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Was that a song lyric or something? What? At any rate. And then maybe when she feeds, she's juiced up enough that for like 5 minutes or something, she can pierce that veil. She can see across and have like full-on conversations.
This is a lot of metaphysics for comedy.
I guess. I
I don't know. You still gotta
figured
sell
she's
your
a
world.
spirit demon. She can talk to Robert. But
I mean,
whatever
if
you
that's how
guys want
wanna
to do.
I think Robert's
I
just
add
looking to
flavor.
slime Meredith once in a while, and
Nice.
no,
Why is she dripping with goo?
but I meant tapings with goo. Because you're listening to the Dark and Stormy Nights podcast. No, I can't put that
leave
in
the
here.
bumpers to the bumpers.
Anyway.
All right, fine. I don't know. It's not terrible. I don't really care about the whole dynamic there. I'm not sure. I feel like Robert's as important at the moment.
Well, the point is that Robert is a spoiler. But I think that if they're out on a job, that helps nobody.
It doesn't help while they're out on a job. No.
Right, and they may not return from that. I mean, of course they will because they're the heroes.
Well, I
but-
think that you're going to get into a fight right
They're on
off the
chapter
bat, right?
9. They have to come
It's-
back.
If there's some kind of job and Zara's out there and then she runs into Dark Hammond and then there's some kind of fight and she comes home and she's like, what the fuck was that about? And Hammond's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Are we making them exact copies? They look
I don't
just
think
like...
so, no.
Well, I would say exactly.
In fact,
except the
it
hair's
pissed
parted
Hammond
the opposite
off.
direction. They're the opposite hand. So if they're right-handed, they're left-handed. Stuff like
well,
that.
I think it would piss Hammond off too that if Dark Hammond had hair and he wasn't like bald, you know, or something like that.
His
That
inventions
would be a
didn't
hell of an
malfunction.
off.
Well, like Hammond's got what, a 40% success rate, so maybe Dark Hammond has a 60% success rate.
Could
I
be.
wasn't saying that it had to be directly down the middle, kind of whatever, but
His balls are dressed
No,
to
I
the
just want to
right,
know
the
if,
other
like,
guy's
Zara
left.
shows up and sees Hammond. Can she tell that it's not Hammond?
not right away. I think.
Well, then he can't have hair.
I think it would be a matter of like talking to him and then like finding something's off.
Or maybe, like,
you know,
Copy Wilhelm isn't neurotic?
Don't like don't
that
wait,
would
wait.
be true. I don't think
Like,
they have
But
the
he's
aren't
fucking
alls-
better. He's better at being a werewolf.
Yeah. He's too confident.
And
Yeah.
that's- Well, I was gonna say with Hammond, that 40%, some of that might be him getting in his own way. The other guy doesn't suffer all those flaws. He doesn't have a back history. He doesn't have like.
Well, not to mention
He doesn't
though,
care if
I
he
feel
blows
like,
up Copy Zara.
I feel like Dark Hammond uses like mustache wax and stuff like that, so it's all like
How
Are you
about
trying
he
to put
has...
evil goatees on him? Is
He's
that what you're trying to do?
completely
Right.
he's completely evil, but he has impeccable manners.
yeah. Oh, he's too nice. Oh no.
No, not nice, but he's not like a slobby kind of, like, he's just got impeccable manners.
Like he's eating a sandwich on the job, but he tucks the
He lifts his pinky when he drinks his tea.
and he
Cuts
and
a sandwich with a knife and fork.
he tucks the napkin into his shirt and yeah. He doesn't smell like diesel and farts. So
Yeah, no, that I would believe.
It's
There
like,
would
wait
be
a minute.
So
behavioral
we have to make them
differences.
just slightly different.
There's
I feel like we almost
something
need like
not right.
mini bios for these guys.
Yeah, see, they're only getting the abilities, the essence of the being,
Is
but
there a
they don't
dark-
have the
wait,
memories.
wait.
What actually makes Hammond Hammond?
is
They
there a
don't
Dark
have that.
Dale?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is
Well-
there a Dark Karen?
No.
Just
I don't-
Dark
Karen,
Dale?
Karen is dark.
Well-
I don't know that they would copy Dale.
Well, one, they don't know Karen's in the picture, and two, they're trying to steal the pigs. So I don't know. Maybe
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
If
know.
there is a Dark
However,
Dale, does he have
I
a
feel
pencil
like
mustache?
Dark Meredith is almost the same person. Right? Because she's already
That's
kind
funny.
of dark.
That's funny. I like.
Darling, I love your style.
Right?
Oh yeah, I like to come across each other just side.
Yeah,
of each
there's-
other,
Yeah,
looking
just
at the
instead of
outfit.
using love, she uses a different.
Yeah, they're circling each other in like this weird
right,
like.
right.
Is that what I look like from behind?
Right. My ass is impeccable.
I'm pretty sure they were wearing those hoop things at that time.
Like, yeah.
The whalebone skirts,
I think they moved on to wood.
torture devices. All right. Do we wrap this up? Do you want to come back for another segment?
I don't know. I feel like we didn't really plot out what happens in Chapter 9 unless you're just talking about the aftermath of the team.
So do we want another segment?
It's up to you.
I'm game.
All right. We'll come back for another segment. You guys get an extra long episode this time. Lucky you.
Dear listener, we accept that we had to sacrifice the whole Saturday for your entertainment, but we think you'd be crazy to miss an episode of The Dark and Stormy Nights. The world sees writers as they want to see them, in the simplest terms and the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each of us is a brain
And a dreamer.
And a creator,
and a basket case.
a researcher.
And a comedian.
Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Dark and Stormy Nights.
Listen to Dark and Stormy.
Okay. So we're back on the rag and ovulating.
Great. Time for some speed plotting.
Okay. So I have chapter 9.
You
So
do.
I am writing ...
I mean, if you want to jump back in with the bad guys, then you are writing Desmond, Caleb, Jennifer coming up with the idea to...
So developing the plan of Dark Team.
Right. Or,
Is
I like
that
it.
racist?
Oh, well, evil team. Team evil.
Team. Team.
Team
I
evil?
didn't think so, but you had to put that.
Negative.
Yeah, I
thought
mean,
in people's
nobody
heads.
thought
Negative.
that until you said it. Anyway, and then our light team.
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Or
I'm kind of dark right now myself.
if you,
It's
I
like-
mean, if you pick up with them, then
I'm a good guy.
you've left off with them rescuing Karen and Wilhelm and bringing them back to the house and finding the guy stuck to the wall
Okay, so
and the dead people. Oh, and Karen can just take care of all that.
anti-team.
Well, yeah,
The anti-team.
she can clean up the bodies, but there's blood and pieces. It's
I
it's
mean,
not a
yeah,
great
there's
scene.
obviously
The one
cleaning
dude's
to be
head
done.
smeared down the whole wall.
She's gonna need some borax and.
The other guy went through the drywall, or not drywall.
What
the
if she?
plaster.
They bring like Sacha Baron Cohen. She's like, I said borax, not Borat.
I don't
No.
think that's going to happen.
Okay. Was that too corny? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but anyway, okay. So, do you want to come in with the good guys or the bad guys?
Okay, so
I
if
think
I do
bad
the
guys are
bad
more
guys,
fun, but-
I have to. They have to kind of like piece together this plan that Talbot already had, right? Maybe Caleb has to kind of like, all right, if you guys are gonna do this, like, all right, you got to do this.
You know what?
But what about
To
this?
some extent, like
And he,
maybe
like pushes them towards.
maybe they just all go into like Desmond's office, right?
Have a
And
powwow.
the last time they were here, Nibbles dragged somebody out of the room,
Right.
and so like he just goes over and he just starts like unloading everything that he stole right onto the desk, and then that should make it click for Jennifer, I think.
I feel like Desmond would be flipping through the book manically
Yeah,
while all this is happening.
Desmond's trying
Like,
to
he's
figure
searching for
something out,
solution.
and Jennifer is just like frustrated, and like as soon as
What if she takes something that like Caleb's like emptying his pockets? Desmond is like flipping through the book, and then like she's kind of like looking back and forth between the two things, and then grabs something Caleb like emptied out of his pocket and just slams it on the page where it's these doppelganger things.
Although this is a good place for them to get that little tiff going. Like if Jennifer's like looking over at Caleb's stuff, and you're like, I got an idea. And he's like, shut up, I'm looking for a real idea. You know, just like tearing
Desmond or Caleb?
down. Desmond, yeah. Caleb knows better.
Well,
His
I mean,
voice and
I think
opinion.
I think it'd be more like, didn't you already fail me enough times today or something like that?
Who?
When
Like if Jennifer pipes up.
Jennifer's like, oh, I've
That's
got
the
an
problem.
idea.
That's the problem, is that Jennifer can't come straight out and tell look at how many times she's had her ideas thrown in here, and Desmond thinks it's his own. So really, at this point, like, all she has to, her and Caleb are going to have to work together to manipulate Desmond
Right,
into
but
thinking this is his idea.
My
So-
point is she can't leaf through
See,
the book
this
and put
is
a
the
finger on
odd-
page because he's too busy looking for an answer directly.
This is the
Right,
odd
but all
thing.
she's going to look, she knows black magic. She's going to look at all the things that Caleb collected, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to flick like a light bulb for her.
This is the odd thing, right? I mean, because Caleb and Jennifer have the same goal, while not necessarily
No.
serving the same master. So in
Caleb's
this,
not trying to steal the
in
book.
this no, I'm saying in this particular instance.
Oh,
like,
yes, yes.
These two are trying to make this like weird mind connection thing.
Right, they're like kind of like looking at each
Where,
other
yeah,
and looking
like,
at the
it feels
stuff and looking at each
uncomfortable,
other.
But like, yeah,
Right.
like when there's two kids accused of doing something in the principal's office, but they don't necessarily know each other that well,
Mm-hmm.
and the principal's like trying to think of like how to punish them best, and the two kids are trying to think of how we can mitigate this best.
Right.
So they're like trying to make this
Like all of a
mind-
sudden you're on the
there's-
same
There's
team.
this mind link that doesn't exist, and they're looking at each other like, I think I know what
Did you
mean.
spend a lot of time as this other kid in the principal's office?
Maybe, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, there's this like sudden like fake telepathy.
Yes.
I think he knows.
I
what
know
I
what
mean.
you speak
I think
of.
she knows what I mean. All right.
Right.
Think really hard. All right. Do this. No, they don't know. They don't
But
know.
where are we going to get
Abort.
rubber pants at this time of night?
Pinky in the Brain. That's funny. I was trying to explain to my son Pinky in the Brain the other day. He'd never seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I still remember that song.
I kind of miss it. Yeah.
Anyway.
With the exception of the fact that I dated a girl who kept saying "narf," and I was like, "This is dumb." It
Oh.
lasted like 2 days.
Yeah.
Was she being comical?
No, she was just fucking weird, and she thought she was funny.
I mean, it is kind of funny, but I
Yeah.
can see that wearing.
Don't say "narf" during sex.
It's probably
What?
funny like once or twice, and then after that you
Yeah,
gotta let it go.
It gets old really
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Anyway. So
Right?
so yeah, I feel like as soon as Caleb empties his pockets and Jennifer's like looking at this, like she'd need to take a long look and be like, wait a minute, and then her and Caleb kind of do the wait a minute,
Right.
And so I think that at that point the two of them work together to kind of convince Desmond that, what if there was a team that was their equal,
Right. You know what I do feel like is that I think at this moment, right, Caleb's emptying these things out of his pocket. She makes this connection. And then, like, after this is all done, everybody's walking out of the office. Desmond, once again, fooled by his own narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb and Jennifer kind of look at each other and is like, we need to have a talk, almost simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never do.
Yeah, that's
Well,
cute. I
not
like
on-
it.
not on screen,
I dig it. I dig
but-
it. Do that as the last line of the chapter.
Yeah, we need to have a talk simultaneously.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree that this has got to be the next chapter because what I would do with the heroes, not only you got them clean up the bodies, settling in, the Jorogomo finding, a place to nest.
Are you throwing that on me?
No, I
Chapter
guess,
10?
I guess
Is
I
it your
am.
turn?
But the
After you.
but the reason I was saying this, it's a great timing for them to get those 3 separate calls, or how many calls they get, whatever.
Wait, we haven't even summoned the mirror team yet.
Well, that might all happen in
Mirror Team
Loki's
6.
chapter.
No, never mind.
I mean, is
I don't
is it
think
just
that will
plotting,
work.
or is there?
What's that?
I mean, is it just plotting in Loki's chapter?
Are we going?
Are we going to show the summons? Does that happen off screen? I don't know.
Well,
Okay, so let's decide.
let me write this first, okay? And then...
And then we'll come back and figure out exactly where Tears picks up.
Are you going to give me another plotting episode, or are you just going to throw this at me like you read your chapter next week and then it's, hey, good luck with the rest of
I think
this?
we'll plot based on what Loki brings.
I don't know if
Okay,
I'm going to be
that's
able
good.
to bring enough to fill the whole episode. I don't know.
Okay, so at least bring the first half of your chapter, maybe? And then from there we can do more
No,
plotting.
I don't think it's going to be a big episode or a big chapter, because it's really the team kind of arguing where to go next.
You
know?
don't
Right.
think they'll get to
No,
summoning
it
in that
doesn't.
chapter?
It doesn't have to
necessarily
be a
think
big
we
chapter
need
at
to
all.
display the summoning of another
Okay, so summoning's
thing.
happening off screen.
No,
It's
but
kind of
okay, so they need
implied,
to
I
have the
think.
discussion with Desmond and get the whole idea worked out, so the reader can follow what's happening.
Right, we can imply the
That
summoning,
way-
can't we?
I
What
mean,
about
we
the
can-
multiple calls? Are we going to plot that in the
What?
plotting?
Well, I think that can be
No.
the next episode. Is
Or are we going to
maybe-
bring it as a surprise on the reader that when they answer these
Just
multiple
play it
calls?
out. There's no need to show that before it happens.
Okay, because that makes them even more
Or
clever
to,
when
to
it when it
say
when
that
it-
it's going to
when it
happen
happens.
before it happens. Yeah.
I want
Okay,
a
cool.
cookie.
That's how I wanted it. So cool. I'm on board.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think that the spell is implied, right?
Okay.
And I don't necessarily.
So as long as they have enough discussion at this point to make the reader understand what's happening next.
right.
And
Yeah,
then
because Skeletor wouldn't show like his hand here, right? Like in He-Man.
I mean, have you
He
seen
would-
his cronies?
he would create a new like crony, and you wouldn't know until it faced He-Man, right?
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
the only
That's
one he could
exactly what
rely
I'm
on
saying.
Was that sorceress chick,
What?
the sorceress girl.
Yeah. So yeah,
Everybody else was just a beast.
I think we're all on the same page here. Okay, so
yeah.
what we're
Moon
gonna
Ra would summon something, and the Thundercats would just run into it.
Was that her name?
No, that's Thundercats. So
I didn't.
Dude, I
realize
loved
that.
the Thundercats.
Thundercats are the shit.
They were.
I was more Thunder.
Except for that what was Snarf?
Oh yeah.
Oh God! Every show
That was
had
dumb.
that Snarf, Orko, all those.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Anyway.
hated the mascots.
So okay, so like next episode we'll either have the first half of
And yet we have
chapter
to pick.
9 or the whole chapter 9, however, depending on how much you get of this worked out, and then we'll do some more plotting for chapter 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be hard. Like I said, I don't think I plan to go into detail with the summoning itself.
Mhm.
I think this is argument. I think this is
Mhm.
dialogue
Mhm.
or whatever.
Do they have to sacrifice a Bob for each doppelganger?
We can go goat once in a while, can't we?
I don't know.
Why would you hurt an
For-
innocent goat?
That's true.
I mean, you're bringing in a human form. Don't you need a human essence?
Well, okay, but they are
Oh, that's
using
true.
the shit that what's his name stole.
yeah, that's a
So
tie
that
in.
could be the sacrifice. The sacrifice could be the brush, the panties.
I don't know. I feel like you got to kill like 8 Bobs,
8 bobs. That's a lot of
There's
bobs.
not even 8 people on the team.
or however many. I don't know.
What if they accidentally bring a Robert?
They can't-
Wait,
they
What
can't
if
think of the
Meredith
not
wrong
thinks
a
they
Bob?
keep Robert? Huh?
He's not a Bob. He's just a Robert.
No, like they
Oh yeah,
like they accidentally bring
No,
Robert.
that's a good point. I mean, was it his panties? I don't know. No, but I mean, like he was alive. He was there. He did.
He
have
lived
stuff.
there. There has to be stuff there
That's
of his.
wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So-
I don't see Meredith
So maybe
getting
instead
rid
of
his
Wilhelm,
stuff.
you get a Robert.
No, she wouldn't have gotten rid of his stuff.
So whose underwear is
wait,
this?
wait. It's a bit early, but if we keep the Robert alive, we wanted to-
oh.
We did want to
That's an
wait.
accident.
yeah. So if we
So okay,
Right.
so Caleb gets.
I like it.
Let's lay this out there.
Interesting.
So Caleb
I
got
didn't
a
mean to
hold
write
of,
that, but-
let's say, a brush for Zara.
Like nobody
or a
would be able to
blade.
bring themselves to kill him.
What do you say? Zara's blade.
Yeah, anything. She left her weapon stuff all
Wilhelm's-
open when she packed.
Wilhelm's teacup.
I mean, Robert probably had weapons.
How do you steal? You can stuff a teacup in your
who,
pocket.
Meredith still uses.
What-
Wilhelm's
what did they get?
handkerchief.
So Zara's blade. Wilhelm's handkerchief.
I feel like it'd be reading glasses. That'd be kind of thing he'd leave like on a little nightstand in his library.
Again, you're gonna stuff that in your pocket. They'll get broken.
And he probably blew his nose in the hanky. So,
All right, whatever.
all right. So we have. What about Hammond?
I
What do
feel
you
like it's
say?
a tool, some sort of caliper or wrencher or something, electrode.
I was thinking some sort of like little mechanical device, personal grooming device, something that still has his
Nose hair trimmer.
nails
I
or
would not
nose hair
trust
trimmer.
a steampunk nose hair trimmer by Hammond. I would not.
Yeah, but Hammond
What
would
if Caleb
use
stuffs
a
it?
nose hair trimmer by
He
Hammond.
would, or to trim his beard, or his fingernails.
God, that sounds so painful.
So let's pick it.
What if
was
Caleb
it?
stuffs it in his pocket and it goes off?
Eyes like wide open. This just became a Creed song. With eyes wide open.
And that's all we're allowed to sing.
So what was it? So was it a ball hair trimmer? I don't know. What was it?
Oh my
that
goodness!
really wasn't fashionable then.
Ball hair trimming?
Yeah,
People just walked around with hairy balls.
Who
pretty
knows?
much into the 90s.
Gross.
So make it Wilhelm's reading glasses and Hammond's handkerchief.
Glasses.
I suppose Hammond. No, you know what? Not glasses.
You're
It's,
getting painful here.
What do you call those? Those like goggle sets with the like a jeweler's glasses. That's the kind of thing you would use with tools.
You're overthinking this.
That's true.
All right, so Meredith, they accidentally get Robert Sundays.
So you're saying they don't summon a new
That was a
Meredith,
joke.
but they get a Robert, or are you saying
Well,
they get
that's
one of
how
each?
you would get the.
I'm figuring maybe Meredith's got weapons that she uses, but it was
Maybe
originally
Robert
Robert's.
likes lace.
Maybe he
I
likes.
mean, maybe he does. I'm
likes
not,
the
I'm not here
lacy
to judge.
manties. Lacy manties.
Hmm
Yeah.
They make him feel sexy.
What is this, Bull
Too
Durham?
sexy.
There's
for
nothing
this
wrong
show.
with that. A lot of
Too
dudes wear
sexy
lace
for
and
this
satin
show.
underwear.
What?
They do?
I mean, I guess.
I don't wear underwear, so I don't know.
Didn't need to know that. Anyway,
It's too much work.
Moving
So what are
on.
we going with? Are we going with the undies?
well, no, I think the question is, are you stealing something of Meredith's and something of Robert's, or are we just going to take something and have it end
Are
up
we
being
assuming
Robert's?
They just
That's
don't-
what I'm saying.
They just don't know.
One
so
of
they're
them
So
like,
they
replaced.
accidentally summon, they accidentally create a Robert instead of a Meredith. So they're going to have a Robert, a Hammond, and a Zara.
I was
What do you think?
I was thinking of getting rid of Wilhelm and bringing in Robert in, but I don't care. However you guys want to do it.
Oh, Wilhelm. I almost forgot about him because I
Yeah,
can't see him
Wilhelm.
as evil. Wilhelm, Zara, Hammond, and
Well,
Robert.
that's what I was saying. The
but
eyeglasses.
no
wasn't- you
evil,
give them the
no
handkerchief.
evil Meredith, right?
Right, so that would be too much, because Meredith's fucking scary.
She's already, yeah.
No, yeah, we need an evil Meredith because then it's just.
It's the same
It's
person.
so funny. That's what makes it hilarious. So yeah, we need Meredith. So, Robert has to replace somebody
So
else.
maybe they just don't know.
That's what I was saying. Wilhelm.
Maybe
is
Maybe
more
they
boring.
just don't know that Robert's dead, so they
But
would
Alright,
see
so-
they would
Evil
see
would be
woman.
fine.
What?
They would see a woman and a man stuff in the same bedroom, and he takes one of each.
Maybe
Okay, so what of Meredith's do they have then?
Zara.
I think he just
maybe
grabs
get
her
rid of Zara.
panties,
Panties?
and then he sees He sees that there's a man stuff in the room too, and he grabs something, his aftershave or his whatever,
Comb.
his comb. Fine.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe he had luscious hair. I
Maybe
don't
we
know.
get rid of Zara for the doppelganger, and then bring
Why do you
in-
need to get rid of somebody?
I think they're just not paying that much of attention.
You think they
honestly.
grab 5 items?
Like, why would they know?
Why
would
they
think
don't know
about
who
it?
else in the team.
They don't really know. They're just desperate. You know, like it's like, all right, we got to finish these guys. What
They've
the-
observed bits and pieces
To
of
be
this
honest
team
with you-
from afar.
Well,
They've
if
never
there's only
seen them
4
all together
people-
at one point.
If they're
I
smarter,
mean, don't
they'd
they
have
have
burned
to
this
have 4
house down by now.
sacrifices? And then they end up with 5 people. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
They
They
never
have
faced them all.
they have
full on.
5 people's things. They don't understand that one of them is dead.
Right.
They saw 5 people living in that house. They didn't see Robert, but they saw his things in that bedroom. As far as they're
okay,
concerned.
so they're not entirely sure how big this team is.
No, they don't know. They've never seen them all together at once. So as far as they're concerned, there's 5 people on this team, and they took 5 people's things.
Okay, that's fair. But that also begs me the question of Blackwell is a collector of this stuff.
Of what stuff?
So he's collecting
The occult
panties.
and whatever, you know. He's trying to gain in power to control the world, you know.
Yeah.
Might he have purchased things from Robert? Would he know Robert?
If he did, would he know his face? It doesn't matter
And-
because
he-
and also, is Blackwell the
Caleb-
kind of
He did
person to
know
remember
all
people?
that. Would he know he's dead because he had nothing to do with it?
he didn't have anything to do with it. Caleb stole something from that house because he saw a
Oh,
man
shit,
and a
but
woman
Jennifer's
lived in
there. Yeah.
She is.
Jennifer would know he's-
She's not.
well,
she would know his face,
But she
maybe.
doesn't- does she know a who's who? Really? A monster killed
She didn't
Robert.
recognize Meredith. She recognized
She puppeted
Zara.
the monster.
Yes, it was her fault, but I'm not sure she knows what's what and who's who.
You don't think she could see through the eyes of that shadow monster?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter one way or the other.
It doesn't matter if she knows that Robert's dead. She doesn't know that he was Meredith's husband.
Right.
I'm just wondering
And
if
she doesn't know
anyone
he has
recognizes
any-
All
She's
she
Robert.
knows, she doesn't know anything about Meredith. She knows that Robert had a connection to Zara. Zara is the one who was there with Robert.
Right. My question is, when this Robert comes up, does anybody recognize him?
I don't.
You mean when they summon him finally?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Jennifer was not in the building.
Now I could see Desmond even buying from somebody, not even remember the guy's face.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
I can see that.
Does the
happening.
Raven let everybody see his face when he's doing illegal
No.
things for them?
But I don't know that Jennifer would forget.
No, I don't think he does.
Jennifer wasn't in the building.
Yeah.
She summoned a demon that killed him.
Okay, so it was an independent creature. It wasn't just like she was puppeting a shadow monster kind of thing. Like,
No, she was standing outside doing a spell.
all right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think she was in there. I think this was very covert. She's trying to get not to get
So-
noticed. I think the only person that she does make the connection with is Zara. She might have a personal connection with Zara. I think she might.
She
have
recognized Zara.
a
We
personal
already
stake
stated that.
in letting Zara or helping Zara's death along.
Yeah. So for the listeners, this is something that's actually already been plotted out in a flashback that we created that we actually haven't worked into the story yet. But Robert's
I
death
believe-
and Zara's witnessing of it was actually, it's already written. It's just not pieced in yet.
I thought I saw it written. Was it on our
Talking
blog
to the
page?
microphone.
I did. It's pre-written. I wrote it. It's just not in the story. We're either going to put it on the website and not include it in the story, or we'll use it as a flashback or a dream or something at some point.
If you have an
It's just some
opinion,
backstory.
give it to us.
Yeah. There we go.
So
Okay. So are we good with where we're at for now?
I think so. I think you guys have given me enough to work with. I'm still a slacker, so it'll take forever. So I'll make the best of it. I'll make this
Okay.
work. I think I've got a good idea of where we want it to go. What do you guys think?
I think we're good for now.
I would like to remind everyone to join the story at the darkandstormynights.home.blog, the darkandstormynights.podbeam.com, at the darkstormyk1 on Twitter, and join the community on Facebook groups, the Dark and Stormy Nights.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Greetings, dames and knights. If you like what we do, follow us on Twitter at the Dark and Stormy K1, or our website at thedarkandstormynights.home.blog. Or you can rate us on Podbean, Google Play Music, or iTunes.